Assalamu alaikum tena, karibuni tena kwa channel yetu Mind Mastery Tutor, na kama kawaida yetu nafanya hii paper ambayo ni ya Qubaa. Shule yangu ya zamani nimewacha niifanye tu. It's a grade 10 paper for end term 2, so this is the paper. Wacha ni pia kwa wale ambao ni bara wajue kuwa hapa Mombasa tuko na shule inaitwa Qubaa High School, one of the top hitaji wale ukiwa top wewe utakuwa yani, wewe kama wewe ni hata sishasahau msemo. Tuanze. Kama huja subscribe to the channel and share it to others. Kwa wale ambao wako Mombasa pia share it to your friends. Section 1, answer all the questions, the space is provided. Question 1 yasema the volume of a cube is 720 cubic centimeter. Hii ambayo ametunga ni rafiki yangu wa zamani, tulimaliza form 4 pamoja na sote wawili tukaamua tuwe walimu, so yeye alinitangulia mapema but he's a teacher also in Qubaa High School, so shout out to him inshallah. Hopefully if you want to meet him then, or you want to become, or if you're in Qubaa yani, or you're around Qubaa na wataka tutor ambao ni physical or anything, just reach out to him. The volume of cube is 720 cubic centimeter. Sawa. Determine whether the length of one side of the cube is a rational or irrational number. So cube obviously volume yake is given by side times side times side, which is s cubed. So kama wewe wajua volume ni s cube, na ikiwa watafuta side peke yake utapiga cube root ya volume. So in short, inataka kutafuta one side, so cube root ya 720. So ukipiga cube root ya 720, let's see how much is it going to give us. 720 itatupa a lot of decimals, so itakupa 8.9628094 na inaendelea, na hakuna pattern, and this seems an irrational number. So irrational kwa yenyewe ukiona not a recurring decimal, is a non repeating number, so obviously hata a divided by b yake pia it doesn't give you a constant decimal hivi, is an irrational number. Question 2, solve the following quadratic equation by factorization. Sawa. Solve the following quadratic equation by factorization. By factorization, so the question is very specific. So 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. So hapa ni negative, this should be -1. Ewe hapa sasa ni -1, so our sum is basically -1. Our product is equal to 2 times -3, which is -6, and the two numbers, if I add them, gives me -1. If I multiply them, gives me -6, and those two numbers are, if I'm not wrong, is it 3 and -2? -3 and 2. Kiadi -1, niki-minus yanipa niki-times yanipa -6. So it means that the -1x itavunjwa into -3x and 2x. And don't remember to add the -3, which is equal to 0. Then again you factorize. You factorize the common factor hapa ni x into bracket 2x minus 3. The common factor for this one is +1 into bracket 2x minus 3, which is equal to 0. So bring the x plus 1 together na uandike 2x minus 3 mara moja. Hata kama patikana mara mbili utaandika moja. And then once you get this x plus 1 times 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, we equate both of this x plus 1 to 0 plus 1 ukipeleka the other side itakuwa ni minus 1, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, 2x is equal to plus 3, divide by 2, divide by 2. The second x is also 3 over 2, so that is x1 and this is x2. Tumeona rahisi sana. Now draw question 3, draw the image of the following figure under enlargement with center O and a linear scale factor of 2. Mwalimu wetu ameingia kila swali. So yeah, let's draw it. Okay, question 3, draw the image of the following figure and under enlargement with center O and a linear scale factor of 2. Najirepeat mara mbili, hebu ngoja niweke kwa sehemu fulani. Okay, now that is the question. Now let's continue. Umeambiwa and a linear scale factor of 2. Now ni ngumu lakini let's try. For interactive applications muhimu hapa not mask but ruler, sababu hapa tuta measure. Now let's measure now from O to A and from A to B. Na measure haiendani. Sasa haina shida. So hii to measure ni ngapi? Hapa ni 0. Au tutumie nini? Compass. Compass labda. Then to measure na compass itakuwa rahisi. Because compass itakupa distance yake hapa. We don't need but for the compass that you have lazima utumie ruler. Hii yangu tayari yanipa. So mpaka hapa ni 6.6 cm. Ukitumia ruler yako is there. Hii hapo tu. Tumia na ruler yako itakuwa hapo 6.6 cm. So hapa mpaka hapa ni 6.6. So scale factor tunasema ni times 2. So kama ni 6.6 kutoka center of enlargement mpaka hiyo object yako ndo hiyo OA. Sawa. So image over object, so OA prime itakuwa times 2 yake. So 6.6 times 2 itakuwa ni 13.2. So ni 13.2. So yeah, so hapa itakuwa 13.2. So wacha tu extend sasa. 13.2 extend, usi 13.2 somewhere here. So yeah, so wacha tuiweke. Hold on. So 13.2 somewhere there. So let's just a ruler and then we bring that's lazima ruler. You can just put a straight line from this kutoka hapa kwenda hivi, so itakutana nao hapa. So this is where our A prime will be for the image, and the same thing goes with this one. So let's start here hapa. So and then just rotate it a bit. Kutoka hapa B ni ngumu sasa. Kutoka hapa B tumepewa 5.2. So 5.2 So tutajua ni 5.2, so OB prime itakuwa OB ni 5.2, OB prime itakuwa ni 5.2 times 2 which is 10.4. Yeah, 10.4. So yeah, so kutoka hapo mpaka hapa 10.4. Kutoka O mpaka B prime 10.4. So 10.4 acha tupige, ongeze 10.4. Hii ni kubwa. 10.4 itakuwa somewhere here. La haula. 10.4 itakuwa somewhere here. So 10.4. Then bring this thingy. Yeah, for now. Then connect it using a ruler. Hata hiyo ruler sijui faida yake nini. Lazima itakuwa OB. Lazima itakata B, so that is mpaka hapo ni sawa tosha. So hii ni B prime. Then tumebakiwa na tofauti, so ita block. So hii ni B prime. This is B prime. Bado C prime sasa. Hii okay. Wachana nao, so now bado sasa OC from the same hii hapa. So toka C ni 12.2. So OC ni 12.2. OC point times 2 times 2 itakuwa ni 24.4. So from O mpaka C prime ni 24.4. So itabidi itafika kweli, itabidi sasa tutumie rula yetu. I don't know. 24.4 yafika 24.4. Use ruler hii upati compass kama hii yangu tu, kwa sababu na yanipa mpaka measurement. So 24.4 ni hapa. So again just do this. So connect it now. So connect this line to this. So itakuwa hapa. So hapa ni C prime. Now tosha. Nimeifanya ndefu hii kitu, wacha tuipunguze for now. So itakuwa hatutumii tena. Now connect the dots sasa. Connect the dot C. So A prime, B prime, C prime. Let me use another different color ndo at least muone is not the same. So ewe pia tumie tu the laptop version. So hapa A prime mpaka B prime, then B prime mpaka C prime, then A prime mpaka C prime. So that is your triangle. Just in case watu hawajaona, I'll highlight it. So at least uone kama hiyo ndo triangle yetu. Ukaona vitu, hebu tuongeze kidogo tu. Naongeza kidogo lakini so this is the triangle that we're describing about. So so this is the triangle. So A prime, B prime, C prime. Ndo sasa tume enlarge hivyo. So very easy, not that hard, very very easy. Kija kwa swali kama hilo ushapata 4 marks zako na mapema. Hatuje kwa swali la 4, is this 27 power x plus 3 to the power of 3x plus 1 is equal to 108. Solve for x and in this equation. So 27 power x plus 3 power 3x, wacha tuivunje na mapema pia, is equal to 108. 27 can be written as 3 power 3. So 3 times 3 times 3 ni 27. Lakini kumbuka kuna power nyingine. 3 power 3x waweza ukaivunja hivi, because remember what we said is that, in case hujaona topic yangu ya indices, go and my playlist ya topic 10 to nini, grade 10 marks. So a power m times a power n itakupa a power positive m plus n. So it's the same thing here. Originally it was like this, 3 power 3x times, let's put it times like this, 3 power 1. So that okay, multiply same bases with different powers, you normally add to get that this here. So originally it was supposed to be this one, is equal to 108. So now we say that let 3, now remember, and I completely forgot, if you have 2 powers hapa, hii itakuwa sasa 3 times x. If you have 2 powers, remember, what do you do to the 2 powers? You multiply those powers. Be a power m times n. So kwa vile tuko na 2 powers, you multiply 3 times x to give you 3x. So very simple. Now tumesema let 3 power 3x is equal to a letter, maybe a. So hii itakuwa ni a times, sawa, not times, sorry, a plus, sawa, plus a, kwa sababu hii ni a, hii pia ni plus a times 3. So a plus a times 3 is equal to 108. Now it's a very simple question. I think the teacher amewapenda, but all in all is somehow easy and tricky at the same time. So hii itakuwa a plus a times 3 ni 3a is equal to 108. Now a plus 3a ni 4a, which is equal to 108. Divide by 4, divide by 4, a is therefore equal to 108 divided by 4 is supposed to be 27. Sasa watu wadhani hii ndo answer yetu. This is not our answer. So, and that is why I'm rubbing this split. Come back to the left side, angalia left side. Final answer itakuwa ni hapa. Tumesema 3 power 3x is equal to a. So pale ambapo kuna a sasa, 3 power 3x is equal to the real a, which is 27. Now 27 tumesema iandikwa 3 power 3. So rather than writing 27 again, utaiandika kama 3 power 3. So now we have bases, same bases but different powers. So what do? Kama bases ziko sawa, different powers, we equate the powers. So you just drop the bases. So sema 3x is equal to 3 divided by 3 divided by 3, and therefore x is equal to 1. And this is now your answer. So, question 5. Hafsa zoomed a rectangular photo using a laptop such that the length increased in the ratio 5:2. So, the length increased in the ratio 5:2. Given that the area of the original photo is 12 centimeter square, determine the area of the photo after zooming. So, after zooming, determine the area of the photo after zooming. So, it increased 5:2, yamaanisha pia our linear scale factor is also 5/2, which is around 2.5. So this is our linear scale factor by 2.5. So it may increase. Given that the area of the original was 12 centimeters square, determine the area of the photo after zooming. So hii lazima tutafute the ratio of two areas, and that is area scale factor, which we need to do linear scale factor squared. So linear scale factor squared ni 2.5 squared. Ukipiga 2.5 times 2.5 itakupa 6.25. Sawa. So this is our area scale factor, and we said area scale factor is equal to the area of the larger one divided by the area of the smaller one. So just in case umesahau, angalia video yangu nimeipost, a whole topic about linear scale factor and area scale factor. Area of the area scale factor tunajua ni 6.25. Area of the larger one, the original photo was the smaller one. The one that was zoomed sasa ndo the larger one, which you don't know x. The original photo was the smaller one, which is 12. So we multiply 12. We multiply 12. So x is equal to, or area of the larger one, or the one that came out after zooming, will be 6.25 times 12, which is 75 centimeter square. Simple as that. Question 6. Use logarithms correct to 4 decimal places to evaluate this type of question. 48.73 times 0.07816 over 24.75 squared, then cube root it. Very simple question. Naona ni rahisi sana. So okay, now we created that thingy. So number, standard form, and obviously kuna log hapa. So number ni hapa, standard form yako ni hapa, log yako ni hapa. So number ni 48.73. Ukiandika standard form yafaa iwe 4.873 times 10 to the power of 1. So the log will be 1 point. So tunaanza, and the other one also is the same thing. Number yako ni 0.07816. So your standard form itakuwa 7.816 times 10 power negative, kwa sababu waenda ukianzia hapa 1 2, so ni power negative 2. So hii itaandikwa bar 2 point something. So acha tuanze na log ya 4.873. Tuende kwa 4 figure table. 4.873 hii ni log table, no, 4.873, 4.8 ndo hii hapa, 7 1 2 3 7 ni hapa, then 3 ni hapa. So itakupa 6875 plus 3, which is 6878. So ni 6875 plus 3, 6878. So hapa ni 6878. Twende kwa 7.816. Okay. So 7.816 tuende tuitafute 7.816, shuka 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 7.81 and then 6, that is 8927 plus 4. 8927 plus 8927 plus 4, that gives you 113931. So 8927 plus 4 ndo hiyo. So hapa ni 8931. So now kama ni multiplication, we normally add them up. So tabidi wa add hapa, usually we multiply them. So hapa add, so 8 plus 1 9, 7 plus 3 10. Add it, 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 9 18. Add 6 plus 7 7, plus 8 15. Add 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus minus 2 ni 0. So now that is something that we got. First thing. What about the other thing? Ni ya hii hapa 24.75 squared. So mwanzo tuandike 2.475 times 10 power 1. Sawa. So hii ni power, hii ni 1 point something kwa sababu ya power ni power 1. So njoo 2.475, 2.475, 2.4 is 4, 7 and then 5. So 3927 plus 9. 3927 plus 9. Andike 3927 plus 397 plus 9. Add, so itakuwa 3931. Sasa kwa vile hii ni multiplication, tuseme addition. Sasa hii wa divide and therefore, lakini kabla huja divide wafaa square, yani upande wa log itakuwa ni times 2. Hapa 25.75 ni square, upande wa log itakuwa ni times 2, so 1.3931 times 2. Sawa, times 2 ni kitu cha kawaida tu, so times 2, 1 times 2 ni 2, 6, 18, 3 times 2 6 plus 1 7, 2.7862, so 2.7862. So answer ya hapa ni 2.7862. Sawa, so we are supposed to subtract that with the answer ambayo iko juu, so we need to subtract 0.5809 with 2.7862. na twende 9 minus 2 ni 7, so 0 huwezi subtract na 6, therefore it borrows from 8, it becomes 7. 10 minus 6 ni 4, ilikuwa makini. 7 minus 8 pia huwezi, itaboro from 5, 4. 17 minus 8 ni 9, sawa. Then tuko na 4 subtract 7, this huwezi pia, utaboro. Ukiboro kutoka mtu ambaye hana lolote, itabidi yeye pia borrow from, kwa sasa yaomba pia, so itakuwa bar 1. Wacha nionyeshe hapo bar 1 so that you don't confuse. Hii ni bar 1, sawa. So hiyo itakuwa ni 14 minus 7 is going to be 7 point. Bar 1 minus 2 itakuwa sasa bar 3. So yeah, now the answer that we'll get, kwa sababu hiyo ndo answer. Now the final answer after multiplication and division, the final answer is supposed to be cube rooted, in which upande wa log yafaa iwe ni times a third. That you're taking bar 3.7947 times that, which is very simple. So itabidi uandike bar 3 plus 0.797 times third by bar 3 multiply na 1 over 3, na hii pia wafaa multiply na 1 over 3. So hii itakuwa bar 1 plus 0.7947 divided by 3 itakupa itakupa plus 0.2649. Ikiwa sasa utazileta pamoja itakuwa ni bar 1.2649. That is not your answer, so lazima ufanye antilog ya hiyo. So in short, bado ushapata hiyo, fa ufanye antilog ya 1.2 bar 1.2649, in which is just the same as writing 10 power minus 1 times 10 power 0.2649. Obviously tunajua 10 power negative 1 ni nini, lakini antilog ya 0.2649 hatujui. So njoo hapa 0.2649, 0.26264 and 9 is supposed to be 9 hii hapa, so 1.837 plus 4, 1.837 plus 4, 1.837 plus 4 itakuwa 1.837 plus 4, 1.841, 0.841 ndo hiyo antilog ya 0.2649 times 10 power negative 1, and your final answer itakuwa ni 0.1841. Ona, as simple as that. Let's continue with question 7. Nisema tu swali iko hapa. Why can't I? Siwezi nini? Highlight. Sema tu swali iko hapa, jificha in somewhere. Because you've done it, haina haja ya kuonesha hii swali. Ya hii kuonesha hizi jibu. Ianza vitu kwa laptop. Find the value of x given that. This is the question. Find the value of x given that. This one. 1 over x is equal to 1 over 4.865 plus 1 over 15.84. Sasa hapa yamaanisha ni vizuri kutumia reciprocal tables pia tena. Sawa. So 1 over x is 1 over 4.865 plus 1 over 15.84. It means that for us to find the value of x, we do the reciprocal of 4.865 plus the reciprocal of 15.84. So reciprocal yake 4.8, lakini wacha tuandike hii mwanzo. Reciprocal of also in terms of standard form iandikwa 1.584 times 10 power 1. So tatafuta reciprocal yake pia. So reciprocal ya hii 4.865. So tuangalie sasa reciprocal ya 4.865. Reciprocal table ziko huko mwisho, tuangalie, hopefully tutaipata ikapotea hii hapa. So reciprocals, this is reciprocal tables. No, logarithm of tangents easy. Reciprocal table, and we said first thing is 4.865. So 4.865, 4.8 meaning 8, 6 meaning 6, and 5. This is 5. So 2058 plus 258 plus 0, 2 is 2060. So reciprocal yake ni 2. Ngoja, nimesahau kuna kitu about tables. You don't add but you subtract. Kwa huko makini we tungikosa hapa. So hii yafaa iwe subtraction not addition. So hii tulifaa to subtract, itatupa 2056. 2056 ni 0.2056. 0.2056. Now reciprocal ya 1.584. Let's find it here. 1.584. Pande iko hapa 1.584. 1.58 and 4. So hii ni 6329 minus 17, which will give us 6329 minus 17 tatupa 6312. So hii ni 6312, 0.6312. So 0.6312, lakini kumbuka reciprocal ya 10 power 1 ni 10 power negative 1. So x yako is equal to 0.2056 plus times 10, 0.6312 times 10 power negative 1. It's 0.06312. X yako itakuwa 0.2056 plus 0.06312 is going to give us 0.2687. 4 significant figure. So this is your answer. Okay, you can confirm. Is that our answer? No, that is not our answer. By the way, hii zote zilikuwa 1 over x, 1 over x. I just confused it. So the reciprocal of 4.865 ni the 1 over 4.865. So hii answer is not x, is 1 over x. Sorry for the confusion. So hiyo ni 1 over x peke yake. So 1 over x is this one. So if you want to find the value of x, then itabidi tena ufikia reciprocal ya hiyo 0.2687. So 0.2687, which itaandikwa in standard form reciprocal ya 2.687 times 10 power negative 1. So let's search for 2.687. A very tricky question ikiwa huna makini. So 2.687, 2.687, 2.6 hii, 8 ni na 7 ni hapa. So 3731 minus 10, which would give you 3721. So 3721. So ni 3721 ni 0.3721. So reciprocal hii ni 0.3721 times the reciprocal of 10 power negative 1 ni 10 power positive 1. So times x is equal to 3.721, and that is the answer. So 0.3721 times 10, yeah, that is 3.7721. So once you get that, 1 divided by 0.2687. So yeah, so that is the value of x. So question 8, the vertices of a triangle are 1, 1, 3, 2, and 5, 4. The triangle is reflected in the line y equal to x plus 1. Determine the coordinates of the image. Now, if ingekuwa sasa, obviously tutajua y equal to x, ikiwa image yako, object yako ni a, b, image yako ni b, a. Lakini sasa kwa vile kuna x plus 1, so this will mean that if this is a, b, then the first one, ile ya b which was on the y-axis, ita subtract, itaenda kwa x coordinate, so itakuwa b minus 1, then ile a itakuwa addition. So for example, sasa uko na 1, 1. So hii 1, 1 zita interchange obviously. So 1 minus 1, 1 plus 1, and you're going to get 0, 2. Very simple as that. Kuna nyingine which is 3, 2. So 3, 2 obviously uta interchange, ile 2 itaenda kwa x, lakini uta subtract 1, na ile ya 3 utaipeleka kwa y, so uta add 1, and therefore you're going to get 1, 4. The last but not least ni 5, 4. So again tutafanya the same thing, 4 minus 1, 5 plus 1, and that is why you're going to get 3, 6. As simple as that. So question 9. A cat on a level ground. So a cat on a level ground is 2 meters away from the base of the building. So cat who you have. So it's 2 meters away from the building. So the building is this one. And the angle of elevation of the top of the building at the cat's view is 60 degrees. So hapa ni 60 degrees. So calculate the height of the building. Calculate the height of the building, which is very, very simple. So ukiona hapa bado utatumia kitu yaitwa soka toa. Soka toa. So hapa hii ndo opposite yetu, hii ni adjacent yetu, the 2 meters. So wewe uko na watafuta opposite na uko na adjacent, and therefore you're going to search using tan. So tan theta, which is tan 60, is equal to opposite yako, which we don't know, the height itself, over adjacent, which you know is 2. So remove the 2 by multiplying 2 here, multiply 2 here, and therefore height is equal to 2 tan 60, and the height is equal to 2 tan 60. 2 tan 60 is going to be 3.464 meters. You so as simple as that. So again, very easy, very, very easy. So hiyo ndo height yako ambao wafaa upate. So acha to confirm was 3.464 divided by 2 na tupige tan ya 60 itakupa the same thing ama, yeah, it gives you the same thing. So calculate the height of the bin. Question 10, calculate the volume of the following solid in liters used by 3.142. So umeambiwa used by 3.142. Sawa, usitumie nyingine. So umeambiwa calculate the volume of this one. The volume of this one, the total volume ni volume of hemisphere plus volume ya cylinder. The volume of hemisphere is equal to 2 over 3 pi r cubed plus volume of cylinder ni pi r squared height. Sawa, so tuanze 2 over 3 times 3.142 times r cubed, radius yako ni ile ile ya cylinder pia, so times 7 cubed plus pi, which is 3.142, times r squared, which is 7 squared, times the height. This is not the height, so what is a volume p? Oh, this, you don't know the height, so we need to search for the height now. So we have a triangle that looks like this, which is a right angle triangle. Wacha nichore hapa. So this is the right angle triangle. So this is 7 and this is 15, and we need to find the height. So using Pythagoras theory, we can find the height. So we say that because the longest side is 15 and the shortest side is 7 and the other shortest side you don't know, you take c squared minus b squared is equal to a squared. But if you want to find the value of a only, you square root this one. So c squared need 15 squared. Let me wrap this. It's 15 squared minus 7 squared, then square root it. It's equal to a. So 15 squared minus 7 squared. 15 squared minus 7 squared, then square root this one is going to give you a to be 13.27 centimeter. So that is our height. So tayari tushajua height yetu. Nimetumia lots of spacing, wacha tu nifute kidogo tu so that we don't use a lot of spacing. So plus pi, again 3.142 times r squared yetu. R squared ni 7 squared times height yetu ni 13.27. So 2/3 times 3.142 times 7 cubed times 7 cubed, and it's going to give you 718.47 plus, so 3.142 times 7 squared times 13.27 is going to give you 2043.02. Therefore, you add this ones, 2761.49 centimeter cubed, and that is the answer. Tumeulizwa kama ku round off ama nini, hakuna, but bado very simple question again. This teacher waangalia kwa makini, ndo namwaminia. In liters, so you think that is the final answer, but that's not the final answer. We say that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cubic centimeter. So kama utakubadilisha cubic centimeter into liter, you divide by 1,000. Sawa. So hii answer tuliyopata, wewe waona kama hapo ndo mwisho, si mwisho. Utaona mwisho si mwisho. So you need to divide by 1,000. And that is why you're going to get your answer to be 2.761. Wacha to round off na mapema, cubic, not cubic centimeter, but liters, sorry. Liters. Sema tu nilikuwa makini kidogo. Otherwise, ngepata answer sio pia. Question 11. A hat in the shape of a cone. A hat in the shape of a cone, which is also another tricky question kwa sababu a hat usually hapa chini iko open, so haufai kucalculate hii ya chini. Sawa. Has a radius of 8 centimeter and a slant height of, from here to here is a slant height of, which is L, 21 centimeter. Slant height ni L. So calculate the outer surface area of the hat. So outer surface area of the hat is usually the curved surface area. Sawa. Na hata wamekuwa very specific kuonyesha kuwa hiyo ya chini is usually open. So pi rl, hata ingekuwa mimi singeweka hiyo outer, nisema tu calculate surface area of the hat. So pi rl, so 22/7 times your radius, which is 8, times slant height of 21, you'll get the answer directly. Is there another trick? Kwa sababu ni 3 marks. I don't think there's another trick, so ni pi rl peke yake. So 22/7 times 8 times 21 is going to give us 528 centimeter square. 1 and 3 marks. They're very tricky. Question 12. Factorize completely the expression, which is 48x squared minus 27. So this one, common factor hapa, if I'm not wrong, ni 3. So 3 into bracket. 48 divided by 3 is 16. So 16x squared minus 27 divided by 3 ni minus 9. So 3 into bracket 16x squared minus 9. Waweza you can factorize further because you know that the difference of 2 squared, especially ukiona x squared minus y squared, you're just getting x plus y times x minus y. So 16x squared, so itapata 3 into bracket square root of 16x squared. So just square root 16 and x squared, you're going to get 4x. So utapata 4x square root ya 9, you're getting 3 times 4x plus 3. So 3 into bracket 4x minus 3 into bracket 4x plus 3. And that is our answer. Question 13, calculate the area of the following quadrilateral. Calculate the area of the following quadrilateral. Now calculate the area of the following quadrilateral, which is this one, which is very easy again. So hii ni kite. Na kite, ukiona vizuri kuna two triangles. Kuna two triangles hivi. Sawa. Na each triangle waweza tafuta area yake, especially this one. Wacha tafuta area hii. And then we come back to do the area of this one. Then we add them together. Sawa. So ya kwanza ni 6 cm. Hapa pia ni 6 cm. Ziko sawa. So obviously, you'll do a half AB sin theta. Remember the area of triangle ni a half AB sin theta. So a half times 6 times 6 hiyo ndo AB yetu times sin 44. Sawa. Plus hii hapa pia. So which is also a half times AB times 4 times 4. AB yako ni A, which is 4. B pia ni 4 times sin 50. Now, so a half times 6 times 6 times sin 45. A half times 6 times 6 times sin 44, not 45. So it gives us 12.50. So let's say 504 centimeters square plus a half times 4 times 4 times sin 50 is going to give us 6.128. So if you add these two, let's see how much is it going to give us. Tatupa 18.63 centimeter square. Correct. So, question 14. The volume of two similar bricks are 24 cubic centimeter and 192 cubic centimeter respectively. Determine the linear scale factor. Lakini mwanzo lazima tujue volume scale factor. And volume scale factor is equal to volume of the large one divided by the volume of the smaller one, or vice versa, waweza chukua volume of smaller divided by volume of the larger. Lakini mimi nimezoea ya kubwa divide by ndogo. So you take 192 divide by 24. So 192 divided by 24 is now giving us 8. Scale factors don't have units, so isije ukafanya vituko vako. So for us to get linear scale factor, we normally cube root volume scale factor. So to get linear scale factor, so itabidi sasa to cube root 8, na cube root ya 8 ni 2, and therefore our linear scale factor is equal to 2. Bwana rahisi hizi 3 marks. Mwanafunzi ambaye atakayefeli paper, naona sasa hayafai jilaumu mwenyewe, because I see it's a very easy question, a lot of marks. Question 15, determine the volume of a sphere, which is this one, and the radius is 5 centimeter. So the volume of a sphere is normally given as 4/3 pi r cubed. So 4/3 times 22/7 ama waweza tumia 3.142 ama pi yenyewe times 5 cubed. Sawa. So 4/3 times 22/7, lakini it's preferred to use the pi itself. So it's going to give us 523.81 cubic centimeter. But tukitumia ya pi, wacha tutumia ya pi pia. 4/3 times pi times 5 cubed. Does it give us the same thing? 4/3. Yeah, it gives us, but somehow very closer. 5 cubed is going to give us 523.60 cubic centimeter. I think this one is the more accurate one because they want this one most of the time. But I think this one here is correct, whichever one that you use. So, question 16, given that sine x is equal to 3/13, cos x is equal to 12/13, find tan x, leaving your answer in fraction form. Kila kitu shapewa. So what was the use yani? Hata sijaelewa. So hata ukipewa moja I think yatosha. Ukipewa moja naona yatosha. I think it's because wanafunzi wamelewa katika mazingira, kila kitu wataka kulishwa. Allahu alam. So but I think hata ukipewa moja yatosha, huwa ya pili si lazima pia. Lakini nao sisi tushazoesha wanafunzi to spoon feed, ikiwa haoni hii wampa design nyingine pia aone, na bado pia hataona. I don't know the reason why. So this goes to all students. Be very, so sometimes we give you a question, yani tukuonesha jibu kabisa. So it's not because we also want you to pass, but pia waona shida pia kujibu. So I don't know how we can help you. So x ni hii, sin tumesema ni so, and that is sin x is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Sawa, in which opposite yako ni 3 over hypotenuse yako ni 13. Cos pia is ka, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. Your adjacent is 12/13. So hii ni adjacent na hii ni hypotenuse. So x opposite ya x ni 3, adjacent ya x ni 12 na hypotenuse ya hii ni 13. Sawa. So yeah, so find tan x. So tan x tayari utakuwa ushajua. Let me write using a different color. So tan x itakuwa toa, which is opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent, and your opposite is basically, because we know that this is opposite, let's remember this is adjacent and this is hypotenuse. Now the opposite is 3 over your adjacent is 12. So if you simplify, 3/12 will give you 1/4, and that is in fraction form. Now I think we've entered another section, or we're entering another section, that is section 2, only 30 marks kama ile ya Khalifa. Section A, section B, section C. Wanafunzi nao watajenjaruka hiyo. Question hii ni section 2. Question 17, the oldest child in a family is 6 years older than the youngest. The product of their ages is 135. Question A, determine their present ages. Question B, determine the sum of the ages from now. And I think that, and question C, determine the ages in 12 years time. It's a quadratic grid. Now, the oldest child now is 6 years older, so the youngest, and I think, yeah, so the oldest is 6 years older, so it will x plus 6. The youngest is just x. The product of their ages, that is, if you take x times x plus 6, the youngest times the oldest, it will 135. So x times x gives you x squared. X times 6 will give you 6x. So x squared plus 6x is equal to 135. 135 peleka the other side, so it becomes x squared plus 6x minus 135 is equal to 0. Tunaweza tumia sum product kweli. I think we can do that. Is it possible really? Our sum is 6, our product is negative 135. So those, which are the two factors? Okay, the two factors I think is 9, 9 and 15, or is it negative 9 and 15? Read no. Yeah, this is correct. Ni negative 9 and 15. So ni 15 and negative 9. Multiply yakupa negative 135. Okay, add yakupa 6. So it's going to be x plus 15 and x minus 9, which is equal to 0. So x plus 15 is equal to 0. And that is why you're going to get x equal to negative 15. But you ignore this kwa sababu hakuna mtu ambao ako na age ya negative. But this one, x minus 9 is equal to 0. And that's why x is equal to 9. So again, the oldest is x plus 6. So x plus 6, let's use another color. So x plus 6, which is 9 plus 6, and it's going to give you 15 years. So the oldest is 15 years, and the youngest is 9 years. But it's better to write it somewhere. So old ni 15, young ni 9. 9 years, 15 years. So question B, determine the sum of the ages 5 years from now. So 5 years, the oldest, kwa vile tunajua the oldest, let's say the present ages, we know already, and the youngest. The present age of the oldest tunasema ni 15, and the youngest is 9. So 5 years from now, which is the future, so 5 years from now is going to be 15 plus 5, 9 plus 5. So 15 plus 5, the oldest will become 20, and 9 plus 5 is going to become 14. So we'll take 20, so umeuliza sum, so 20 plus 14, their sum is going to be 34 years old. So because present sahihi ni 15, so plus 5, oldest atakuwa ni 20, youngest atakuwa 9 plus 5, which is 14. Question C, determine the ages in 12 years time. Vipi yani, ni tofauti ama ni swali ambao determine the ages in 12 years time, that is after 12 years present from now, because if their age, so because young tumesema ni 15, because present ni 15, and also oldest, no, the youngest ni 9, the oldest is 15, so plus 12, the youngest will be 21, and plus 12, the oldest will be 27. So simple. Hii marks za bure. Hujauliza sum, it's just determine the ages. Alhamdulillah. Question 18. Calculate the surface area of the following frustum. And this is our frustum that we have here, which is a very, very simple question with a simple answer. Now, so the area of this frustum is given by the area of this uh, very dull. The area of these two circles, which is here. The base one, it looks like a hemisphere, but kaona vizuri is not an hemisphere. It's still a circle. So you have the base area, the two circles at the top and at the bottom. Okay. For me, it most looks like a circle. Circle B the first one. So unless nimeambiwa kingine, but it's not a composite solid. So let's find out the area of this. And the area of this two will be pi, or the area of two circles. Let me just write here, circles will be pi r squared r kubwa plus pi r squared r dogo. So pi r squared 22/7 times the larger radius. Remember our diameter here is 15. So the radius, the larger radius is going to be 15 divided by 2. 15 divided by 2, which will give you 7.5. Now, so this one is 7.5 squared. So half of that, nusu yake. So you just take 15 divided by 2 and you're going to get your radius. So very easy. So that gives you pi r squared plus 22/7 times r ndogo. And your plus, this is the smaller diameter with 12. The smaller radius is going to be half of 12, which is 6. So 22/7 times 6 squared. Now, so 22/7, if you multiply to 7.5 squared, is going to give you 176.79 plus 22/7 times 6 squared is going to give you 113.14. So add this together plus 176.79 is going to give you 289.93 centimeter square. So that is the answer for the first part. Now the last one is going to be, let me check another one. So itakuwa the curved surface area. So area or curved surface area. So the curved surface area is going to be pi r kubwa L kubwa minus pi r ndogo L ndogo. They might be asking your question, asking that question, which is the L kubwa, which one is the L ndogo. Now, if you look at it, if you complete this thing, it gives you a smaller cone. So if you complete it, it gives you a smaller cone, which looks like this, and you have a bigger cone. Your bigger cone is most probably this whole thing, the bigger cone, and the smaller cone is probably this part here only. So let's find the slant height of the bigger cone and the slant height of the smaller cone. And for that, we need to use SOHCAHTOA. Not SOHCAHTOA, Pythagoras theorem, and also a linear scale factor. So tachora nusu hivi. So utakuwa na triangle ambao ni half triangle or right angle triangle, in which hapa juu. So this from here to here, we said is 7.5. So this is 7.5. And this one from here to here, we said is 6 centimeter. Now we know that from here to here is usually 8 centimeter, but we don't know from here to here to be how much, which is x. So to assume here ni x. So we want to find the value of x, the slant height for x, and the slant height for the larger cone. And that is where we're going to use linear scale factor. Linear scale factor utaipata ukichukua the base of the larger cone divided by the base of the smaller. So which is 7.5 divided by 6, which will give you 7.5 divided by 6 itakuwa 1.25. And that same linear scale factor, if you take the larger slant height, I don't know why this happen most of the time. If you take the slant height of the bigger cone, which is x plus 8, kwa sababu chukua kutoka juu mpaka chini, and then you divide it by the smaller cone, which is this part, which is x and not 8. 8 is just the slant height of the frustum and not the smaller cone, and you divide it by x, it gives you the linear scale factor of 1.25. Now cross multiply 1.25 times x, and it's going to give you 1.25x. So here 1.25x is equal to x plus 8. Remember, once you multiply by x, hizo x's zitatoka. So hizi zitatoka, utabakia na hiyo x plus 8 peke yake. So now collect the like terms. X peleka the other side, and that is why 1.25x minus x is equal to 8. 1.25x minus x is 0.25. X is equal to 8. Divide by 0.25. Divide by 0.25. And therefore, x is equal to 8 divided by 0.25 is going to give you 32 centimeters. So that is x itself. So kutoka hapo juu, so hapa mpaka hapa ni 32. So from here to here is 32. So this is 32. So the slant height of the smaller cone is 32 centimeter. Hopefully you guys have understood to that point. Now let me wrap this so that I can get now enough space to calculate the final answer. So now tumesema ni pi RL. So 22/7 times this larger radius. The larger radius is hiyo 7.5 hii. 7.5 times the slant height of the bigger one, and the bigger one ni kutoka juu mpaka chini. Where this one, and that is 32 plus 8, and 32 plus 8 obviously is going to give you 40. So times 40 into bracket minus 22/7 times radius ndogo, which is 6. Remember, the small radius at the top is 6 times the small slanting height, which is 32 centimeter. Now slant height ya ndogo ni 32. So let's see how much is it going to give us. 22/7 times 7.5 times 40 is going to give you 942.86 minus 2/7 times 6 times 32. That gives you 603.43, which gives you the answer to be 942.86 minus 603.43. So that gives you 339.43 centimeter square. So no, but that's not the final answer. When you know more than the final answer, but that is not the final answer. Now the final answer is going to be very simple, which I'm going to write it here with a black pen. So the final answer, the final answer is going to be here. Wacha ni rate nafasi. The final answer is when you take now the two circles, which is 289.93 plus the curved surface area, which is 339.43, add them up is going to give you how much? 89.93. That gives you 629.36 centimeter square, and that is now our final answer. So yeah. So now let's head to question B. Calculate the volume of the following frustum. Calculate the volume of the following frustum. Hii ni pyramid. And now for you to calculate the volume of the pyramid, very simple. A third pi, hakuna pi, a third times base area, which is your cross section area, times height. So height yako kubwa, a third base area times height, bigger height, minus now the smaller one, so a third base area times the smaller height. So very simple. Sasa shida tu ni hiyo kupata height. Now ukiona this is the same scenario in which pia ni ngumu kutafuta no, not that is not that hard. Wewe tutafuta tu mwanzo linear scale factor. Linear scale factor yako ni hii 20 divide by 4. 20 divide by 4 sababu ukiangalia the larger pyramid and the smaller pyramid, the smaller pyramid iko na nini hii, so your base, your length is 4 in the smaller pyramid. Ukiangalia wewe mwenyewe ikiwa complete hivi, then join here and then join here, yani your length is just basically 4. The length of the bigger pyramid is 20, so for linear scale factor utachukua 20 divide by the 4 which we have here, so itakupa 5. Sawa, na ukiangalia height yetu hii ndo height of the frustum ni 9, and then we have this way, wacha tuseme kitu kama hivi. Sawa, so toka height of the frustum is basically 9, the height of the smaller pyramid ni x, so the height of the bigger pyramid divided by the height of the smaller pyramid. The height of the bigger pyramid x plus 9 divided by the height of the smaller pyramid which is x. So hapa, so wachukua yote x plus 9 divided by x yenyewe, which is not that hard. Now is equal to your linear scale factor which is 5. So now cross multiply x ipeleke the other side times x, so utapata 5x is equal to, ina hii itatoka, utabakia na x plus 9. X again peleka the other side, itakuwa ni 5x minus x is equal to 9. 4x is equal to 9. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X is therefore equal to 9 over 4. So this is not the answer. This is just part of the answer. So you know that tayari tunajua sasa tumpata the larger height, and things becomes easy from there. So things usually become easy from there. Now let's take now a third times your base area, which is here. This is your base area, your bigger pyramid, which is 20 times 20 times the larger height, and the larger height C 9 over 4. The larger height 9 over 4 plus 9. So 9 over 4 plus 9 the larger height yako, which should give you 9 over 4 plus 9 is equal to 11.25. So times 11.25 minus a third times base area, yeah, smaller pyramid, which is here again, color, which is here. So a third times 4 times 4 times height yako, and your height, smaller height is x, which is 9 over 4. So you can 9 divided by 4, which is 2.25. 9 over 4 ni 2.25. Sawa, 2.25. So again, very easy from there. Let's see how much is it going to give us. So the first one itatupa ngapi? Let's calculate it. A third times 20 times 20 times 11.25 going to give you 1500, 1500 minus a third times a third times 4 times 4 times 2.25 is going to give us 12. Ewe, inipa the same exact yani answers. Kuja kama maajabu. So 1500 minus 12 is going to give you 1488 centimeter cube. So the answer to this is this. The answer to this is this. So, and that is our final answer. Go on. As simple as that. Now, let's head to the last question about sectors now. So, the figure below shows two intersecting circles P and Q and radii 6 centimeter and 8 centimeter respectively. The circles intersect at R and S, and their common chord RS is 7.2 centimeter long. RS ni hii hapa. So let me use just the blue one for visibility. So RS ni, na hii ni sasa 7.2 centimeter long. So calculate to 2 decimal places the size of angle RPS. 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 RPS ni hii hapa. So this angle here. So RPS. So no. RPS. Am I doing? RPS ni hii angle ambayo iko hapa yote yani. Sawa? Lakini lazima upate hiyo theta mwanzo, ndo multiply by 2 ndo then upate hiyo angle RPS. Sawa? Now let's find now. So we know that we're going obviously to take this right angle triangle, tutaichora. So tutachora hii hapa, then tutaonesha. So hapa juu ndo theta yetu, na hapa hypotenuse ni 6, hapa ni R, hapa ni P, na hapa ni M. Sawa. Now M is the midpoint, hiyo ndo yagawanya. So from R paka M, kama RS ni 7.2, R paka M ni divide by 2, so 7.2 a half yake itakupa 3.6. Sawa. So RM ni 3.6 cm. So kupata hii angle tutatumia obviously so katoa, lazima hiyo so katoa. So ukiangalia vizuri hii angle, hii ndo opposite na hii ndo hypotenuse, na kwa vile opposite na hypotenuse umepewa, itabidi sasa utumie so, kwa sababu kuna opposite na kuna hypotenuse. So say sin theta is equal to your opposite, which is 3.6 divided by the hypotenuse, which is 6. So let's see how much is it going to give us. So theta itself, once you divide 3.6 with 6, mwanzo wacha to divide na itakupa sin theta is equal to 0.6. Then now theta is equal to sin inverse ya acha tupige 0.6, sin inverse ya 0.6. So your theta is going to be sin inverse ya 0.6 is going to give us 36.87 degrees. That is not our answer. Kumbuka hiyo theta is just half, d theta ambayo tuko nao is half of RPS. So kama unataka kupata RPS nyingine, RPS yote itabidi tuwe na 2 theta. 2 theta yamaanisha ile answer uliopata itabidi umultiply by 2, kwa sababu watakupata RPS yote, utaki kupata theta, utaka kupata angle RPS. If you multiply it by 2, you're going to get 73.74 degrees, and this is now angle RPS. To two decimal places ni unaandika to two decimal places, so kuwa makini. So hii ndo answer yetu, sije mkaandika vitu vyenu. This is our final answer. 2 marks about. Question B, the size of angle RQS. RQS, which is now this whole thing here. Now you use the same methodology, which is the easiest methodology. Itabidi tena tuchore ka triangle. So hapa juu ni this time ni Q, hapa ni Q, and then M tuko nao hapa, and then tuko na S. Let's say nitatumia hiyo RQM. So RQM, so R iko hapa na radius yetu ndo hii hypotenuse, which is 8 cm, na angle ambayo tutafuta ni ile ambayo iko kwa Q, which is here. So MR is just the same, is 3.6 cm. Again, opposite, hypotenuse, and therefore we're going to use sine. So sine theta is equal to 3.6 divided by 8. So sine theta is equal to, you divide hizo mbili itakupa 0.45. So theta kama unataka kutoa sine itabidi sine inverse of 0.45. So theta is equal to sine inverse ya 0.45 itakupa 26.74 degrees. This is not our answer once more, kwa sababu umepata tu nusu ya hiyo angle. Just got the beta. Hii ndo beta, na mimi niliandika theta, ilifaa niandike beta. Acha tuandike, tubadilishe tu beta. So sin beta. So our sin beta, tutafautisha hizo mbili. So sin beta, and therefore our beta is this. Now that is our not this not our true for final answer. Kumbuka kuna beta ingine. na kupata sasa zote 2 beta itamaanisha hiyo beta yako, which is if you want to get 2 beta you take 26.74 times 2. So if you multiply by 2 you're going to get now 53.49 degrees. So that is our final answer. That is RQS. So RQS, angle RQS is this one. Now this is now 6 marks in which wafaa uwe makini sana. Sawa, na tutaenda step by step. So ukiona vizuri hii kitu, ikiwa ushaona video yangu ya Sheikh Khalifa, itakuwa umeelewa pia part of this. Ukiona vizuri, sawa, there will be two segments. Segment ya kwanza na segment ya pili, sawa, which is in the yellow part. So kupata segment ya kwanza itabidi sasa, wacha tuanze segment ya kwanza which is the reddish part. Itabidi sasa hii hapa tuchukue area of a sector minus triangle, sawa, area of a sector minus triangle. Wacha tuanze na segment ya kwanza. Na katika segment ya kwanza tunasema area of a sector, wacha tuweke hapa segment ya kwanza, area of a sector theta over 360 pi r squared minus a half AB sin theta. Sawa. So theta yako ni ile angle yetu ya kwanza tuliyopata, na ile ambao ile ni 73.74. So 73.74. Sawa. So kuna kitu kama hii. So this is our sector. And then we have this shaded one. So kupata hiyo shaded, lazima mwanzo utafute area of a sector, then you minus the area of a triangle, ndio sasa itakupa ile segment yenyewe ambao wataka. Hope tumeelewana. So area of a sector is theta over 360. The first angle that you got is 73.74 divided by 360 times 22 over 7 times r squared, na r squared yetu ni hiyo radius yetu ya kwanza ya 6 cm. So times 6 cm times 6 squared, sorry, then minus a half a times b. A na b yetu bado ni zile radius mbili, kwa sababu ile triangle hizi hapa a na b, those are the radius. So times 6 times 6 times sin angle bado ni ile 73.74. So let's see how much is it going to give us. 73.74 over 360 times 22 over 7 times 6 squared itatupa 23.18 centimeter square minus a half times 6 times 6 times sine 73.74. It's going to give us 17.28 centimeter square. If you subtract the two, 23.18 minus 17.28 is going to be 5.9 centimeter square. So this is our answer for segment 1. For segment 2, you do the same thing using the same formula, hiyo tu, theta over 360 pi r squared minus a half AB sin theta. Sawa. Twende tuanze. Theta over 360, angle yako ya pili ilikuwa ni 53.49. So wacha tuchukue hiyo 53.49 over 360 times 22 over 7 times r squared. Radius yetu ni 8 and not 6 now. So times 8 squared. So this one minus a half times AB, which is still 8 times 8, which is 8 squared, times sine 53.49. Haitoshi, lakini itabidi tu squeeze. 53.49 over 360 times 22 over 7 times 8 squared is going to give you 29.89 minus a half times 8 squared times sine 53.49, which is 25.72. So hii ni 25.72. La haula la quwwata illa billah. Hizi haya maswali yote ilikuwa ni pi. Oho, so mi ndo mkosea sasa. Ilifaa sasa nitumie pi, nikatumia 22/7. Aha, so ilibidi sasa, itabidi nikosoe. So just do not ignore it, but ikiwa hutotumia pi to be 22/7, wacha tuendelee. 29.89 minus 25.72 takupa 4.17 centimeter. So area yote ni segment 1 plus segment 2, which is 5.9 plus 4.17. So 5.9 plus 4.17, which is 10.07 square. Sasa sisi tulifaa tutumie pi. Ikiwa utatumia 22/7 itakupa answer hii, lakini sasa tumekosea kwa sababu tujatumia pi. So again, I don't know what's happening to me. So again, let's start. 73.74 over 360 times 3.142 times 6 squared. So minus a half times 6 times 6, which is just 6 squared, but watch it, times sine 73.74. Let's see how much is it going to give us for the first segment. So 73.774 over 360 times 3.142 times 6 squared is going to give us 23.17 minus half times 6 times 6 times sine 73.74 na itatupa 17.28. Sawa, so nikitumia 73.74 over 360 times 3.142 times 6 squared going to give us here that same thing. So if you subtract 23.17 minus 17.28, itatupa 5.89. Now for the other one, segment hii ni segment 1. Let's go to segment 2. Segment 2 itakuwa sasa theta yetu tumesema ni 53.49. So 53.49 over 360 times 3.1 times 8 squared minus a half times 8 times 8 times sine 3.49. So 3.49 over 360 times 3.142. Yapa you 142. 42 sijakuona ni squared, so let me just write it carefully. So 142 times 8 squared times 8 squared is going to give you 29.88 minus a half times 8 squared times sine 53.49 is going to give you 25.72. Now subtract the two. 29.88 minus 25.72 is going to give you 4.16 centimeters square. Now add these two up. So segment 1 plus segment 2 is going to give you now the area of the shaded region, which will be 5.89 plus 4.16, which would give us 10.05 centimeter square. So ukiona vizuri, it's just a difference of 2, yani kidogo tu, but this is our true answer. So again, DND, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and share this content. So don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like. So comment and like always. So yeah, piga things nihitaji thumbs up, sijui chora vipi, lakini all in all, till next time with another paper ya chemistry inshallah biidhnillahi taala. Hopefully nitaweza kuiweka within this week. Also itabidi nianze na mock papers za form 4 pia, in which I need to do faster. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In case of anything, just tell me on the comment section.